Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Monologue Mind. We're super small and just getting started, so if you're watching and you like what we do here, hit that subscribe button and help us grow. Today, we're tackling something that literally nobody wants to talk about, but everyone's curious about: porn recovery and how it affects your brain and relationships. Jennifer, you ready for this one?
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's just rip the band-aid off. Why are we even talking about porn recovery as a thing? Like, is it actually a problem for some people, or is this just internet hysteria?
That's a great way to start, actually. So here's the thing. Pornography itself isn't inherently bad or evil, but for some people, the way they consume it can become problematic. We're talking about compulsive use that interferes with daily life, relationships, work, sleep, kind of like how social media can become addictive for some people, but not everyone.
Okay, so it's like some people can have a glass of wine and be fine, but others can't.
Exactly. Perfect analogy. And the research on this is actually fascinating. Studies using brain imaging have shown that people who compulsively consume pornography show similar neural patterns to people with substance addictions, specifically in areas related to reward processing and impulse control.
Wait, really? Like their brains actually change?
Yes, this is where it gets really interesting. There's this concept called neuroplasticity. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on what you do repeatedly. When someone watches pornography frequently, especially if it's escalating to more extreme content, their brain's reward system can become desensitized. They need more and more stimulation to get the same dopamine hit.
Oh, so it's like building a tolerance.
Exactly. And dopamine is that feel-good chemical that makes you feel pleasure and motivation. But here's the kicker. When your brain gets flooded with dopamine from artificial sources too often, it can actually downregulate your dopamine receptors. That means everyday pleasures, like spending time with your partner, going for a walk, enjoying a meal, start feeling kind of meh.
That's depressing.
It is. But the good news is, because of neuroplasticity, the brain can also heal and rewire itself in the opposite direction.
Okay, so let's talk about that, the recovery part. What actually happens when someone decides to quit or cut back, like day 1, day 30, whatever? What's going on in their brain?
So, the first few weeks can be really rough. People often experience what's called a withdrawal phase. And yes, that sounds dramatic, but it's real. They might feel anxious, irritable, have trouble sleeping, difficulty concentrating. Some people even report feeling depressed or having mood swings.
That sounds awful. Why would anyone want to go through that?
Well, because on the other side of it is clarity, better relationships, improved mood, basically getting their life back. Think of it like detoxing from sugar. The first week is terrible, but then you start feeling so much better.
How long does the withdrawal thing usually last?
It varies person to person, but research suggests that most acute symptoms peak around 2 to 3 weeks and then gradually improve. By around 90 days, a lot of people report significant improvements in mood, energy, and mental clarity. That's why you see a lot of recovery communities talking about 90-day reboots.
Isn't that like a computer reboot for your brain?
Pretty much, yeah. And it's not just anecdotal. There are actual studies showing changes in brain structure and function after periods of abstinence. One study found that after several months without compulsive pornography use, brain scans showed increased gray matter in areas associated with decision making and self control.
That's wild. So your brain literally rebuilds itself.
Yep. The prefrontal cortex, that's the part of your brain responsible for decision making, impulse control, all that good stuff, it actually strengthens. It's like working out a muscle.
Brain gains. Okay, so let's talk about the relationship side of this because I feel like that's what people really want to know about. How does porn consumption actually affect relationships?
Oh, this is huge. So there's a lot of research on this, and the findings are pretty consistent. Frequent porn use is associated with lower relationship satisfaction, less intimate connection, and decreased physical satisfaction with one's partner. And here's why.
Wait, hold on. Why though? Like, I feel like some people would argue it doesn't affect their relationship at all.
And for some people, maybe it doesn't. But for many others, here's what happens. When you're regularly consuming pornography, you're training your brain to be aroused by a screen, by novelty, by a level of visual stimulation that real life intimacy just can't match. Your brain starts to prefer that artificial experience.
Oh, That's sad, actually.
It is. And there's the comparison issue. People start comparing their partners to what they see on screen, body types, performance, all of it. And real people can't compete with that fantasy. It creates unrealistic expectations.
So, like, if someone's been using porn a lot and then they're trying to be intimate with their partner, it doesn't work?
For some people, yes, there's been an increase in what's called porn induced intimacy dysfunction, especially in younger men. Basically, their brain has been so wired to artificial stimulation that real life intimacy doesn't trigger the same response. And that can be devastating, both for them and their partner.
That's wow. I didn't realize it could get that serious.
Yeah, and the emotional toll is huge too. Partners often feel inadequate, rejected, not desired. There's a lot of pain and confusion because they don't understand what's happening.
Okay, so if someone's in that situation, like they've been using porn and it's affecting their relationship, how do they even begin to repair things?
Great question. So, step one is honesty. If someone's struggling with this, they need to have an honest conversation with their partner. And I know that's terrifying.
Oh, it sounds terrifying.
It is. But here's the thing, most partners already sense that something is wrong. They just don't know what it is. So, coming clean, being vulnerable, saying, I have a problem and I want to fix it, can actually be the beginning of rebuilding trust.
What if the partner gets really mad, though? Like, I feel like that would be a pretty normal reaction.
Absolutely. And they have every right to feel hurt, betrayed, angry, all of it. That's where therapy can be really helpful, either individual or couples counseling. A good therapist can help both people process their feelings and create a plan moving forward.
So, therapy is kind of non negotiable?
I would say it's highly recommended, especially if the relationship has been significantly impacted. You need a neutral third party to help navigate those emotions and create healthy communication patterns.
Okay, so let's say someone stops watching porn. They're in recovery, doing the work. What changes do they typically notice, like week by week?
Oh, this is the fun part. So early on, first couple weeks, it's rough. We talked about withdrawal symptoms. But around week 3 or 4, people start noticing increased energy, better sleep, improved mood. They start enjoying regular activities more because their dopamine system is recalibrating.
So, like pizza tastes better.
Literally, yes. Food tastes better, music sounds better, conversations feel more engaging, all of it. Because your brain's reward system is coming back online for normal pleasures.
That's actually incredible.
And then around 6 to 8 weeks, many people report increased confidence, better focus, more motivation. And in terms of relationships, they often report feeling more genuinely attracted to their partner, more present during intimate moments, better connection overall.
So, it's like falling in love all over again.
In some cases, yeah, because they're actually experiencing their partner without that screen filter. They're seeing them as a real person, not comparing them to a fantasy. And that authentic connection is so much more satisfying than anything artificial could ever be.
That's really beautiful, actually.
It is. And here's another thing people report: better communication. Because when you're struggling with compulsive behavior, you're usually hiding it, feeling shame, being dishonest. When you stop, you can be more open and vulnerable, and that creates deeper intimacy.
Curious, what about the like physical side? You mentioned earlier that some people have trouble with intimacy dysfunction.
Yeah, so the good news is that for most people, this improves significantly during recovery. It might take a few months, sometimes longer if the problem has been severe, but the brain can absolutely rewire itself. Many people report a rebooting period where things might not work perfectly, but then gradually it all comes back online.
Okay, so there's hope.
Absolutely, there's hope. And sometimes it's even better than before because now they're fully present, they're connected to their partner, there's real intimacy happening instead of just going through the motions.
Jennifer, you're making me feel all optimistic about humanity.
That's my job, Steve.
Okay, real talk for a second. What's the one thing you wish more people understood about this topic?
I think that struggling with this doesn't make you broken or bad. We live in a hyper-sexualized digital world with unlimited access to stimulation that our brains didn't evolve to handle. Having a problem with this is increasingly common, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. The shame actually makes it worse because it keeps people isolated and hiding instead of seeking help.
That's really important for people to hear.
And the other thing is, recovery is possible. Your brain is incredibly resilient. If you put in the work, seek support, and give it time, you can absolutely rewire your brain and rebuild your relationships. It's not easy, but it's so worth it.
I love that. Okay, well, folks, that's going to wrap up today's episode. This was heavy but important stuff. And Jennifer, thank you for breaking it down in a way that actually makes sense.
Thanks for asking great questions, Steve.
And hey, if you found this helpful or interesting, please subscribe to Monologue Mind. We're still growing and we need your support. Drop a comment too. Let us know what topics you want us to tackle next. And remember, everyone's on their own journey, so be kind to yourself. See you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.